This week in our collective heads, wanna put an old rumor to bed. Stereotype that you've all heard, how we're all just angry video game nerds. Most of us have actual jobs, kids and families and cats and dogs, yeah. This week in our collective heads, this week in our collective heads.
There we go. Welcome to This Week on Our Collective Heads. I'm Patrick.
I'm Kevin.
And thank you for bearing with us if you're watching us live. If you're watching us later on, thank you for joining us. We're here. We're doing this live every Sunday at 10 a.m. or as close to as possible.
Yeah.
Things can happen. But yeah, 10 a.m. on Twitch. And if you if you have church or family things or breakfast, maybe you sleep in on the Sunday, check us out on YouTube. It'll be on Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
Either way, you got us.
So, we're going to jump straight into the news.
Yes.
There are no Hitchhiker's Guide games yet.
None.
And I wish that we could start the episode 42 by announcing that.
It would have been great.
But it's not the case.
We should make one, like, in the next few minutes?
No. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with the backwards compatible games, which that list has now reached over 200.
Yes.
Which is impressive as all hell.
Very impressive that they keep doing this every single week. We tell you what the backwards compatible games are because, like we say, Xbox doesn't tell you unless you're watching on Twitter.
Yeah, and it's one of those services that they keep pushing out, and we've been impressed by.
Yep.
So first one, Fallout New Vegas, and yeah.
It's the best.
Yes, it really is.
It's my favorite. While it's not done by Bethesda proper, it's still my favorite Fallout game. When they remaster 3, I think I'll be feel better about it. We also have D&D Chronicles of Mysteria, which I didn't get to play, but I like D&D, so I'm okay with that.
We also have Blood Knights. Don't know.
I haven't played it. We have Red Faction Battlegrounds.
Yes, Red Faction is a great series, and it's one of those games that after you play it, like you look at buildings differently because you're like, where's the structural weak point where I could destroy this thing?
Yeah,
and yeah, that's just fun.
Exactly.
I don't know if Battlegrounds kind of sounds like something that would be like a different genre of game.
I haven't played this version. Guerrilla Warfare is still my favorite. Yeah. It's just amazing.
The character arc was really impressive too, because like they came up with a world that would have been fun to run around in regardless. Yeah. But like the character arc from I don't want to be here and the things that happen like right at the very beginning of the game, and it drives the character forward. Yeah. So
great game. That's not what's backwards compatible, but it's a great game. Yes. So it should be backwards compatible. We also got Joe Danger, which is cool, ridiculous, over the top, stunty motorcycle guy. Yeah. So that's fun. Crystal Quest, which I have not seen, but I assume. Did we play that? Did I forget this already?
No, I don't think so. But
Crystal
Quest
Questy thing, right?
Crystal Quest sounds like there was a game called Crystal Caverns back in the shareware days. That's what I think of with this one, except maybe RPG mechanics.
Hopefully. Yeah. And we also got Comic Jumper, which I haven't played.
Yeah,
and but we have I Am Alive.
Yes.
Which if you guys
have played.
Which I have played, and if you guys watch the Gold Plus Roundup, which by the way will be coming out later this week for the month of June. I Am Alive is it's basically The Last of Us, but not as good. And the only reason that I say that is because I need to compare it to something, but I don't want to get your hopes up. Yeah. It's not as good as The Last of Us, but it's still a decent game. It's got a decent story.
There's a lot of games that I love that are not as good as The Last of Us. Most of them.
That list can go on and on.
Yeah. But yeah, so they went ahead and let out a healthy chunk of Xbox backwards compatible games.
Happy about that.
So, yes.
Even in movie news though, because we'll go ahead and get this out of the way. It's a video game thing, but Warcraft. I keep wanting to call it World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
but it's not. It takes place way before that. Warcraft is officially the highest grossing video game movie of all time. Still considered a flop.
No, in the U.S. it flopped.
In the U.S. it flopped. But internationally, it's good.
In China in particular, it has made a lot of money. All kinds of money.
I think it's the gold farmers that are wanting to actually know what they were playing a game about.
Could be. I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know the demographics, but I know that the video game market there is very much smaller, and there's a lot less that's accessible to them.
Speaking of that, you saw the new video game console that's coming out in China, right?
Ish.
So it is, as I look this up, it is, because I had it, I think it's called the Focus. Focus?
All right.
Where is it? Fuse. I apologize.
Fuse.
It was an F, not an S, an F. Fuse.
Four-letter F word.
Four-letter F word, Fuse. Fuse is the new console for the Chinese market.
Right,
because China's released some of their laws.
Yeah.
You know how that came about, right? The Chinese video game laws?
I would imagine it was to keep missionaries out.
Not quite.
Okay.
That's an interesting take on it, though. To keep missionaries out of China?
Yeah, that's
to ban the video games?
I don't know how it would work, but I remember that there were some really bad Christian video games that I played.
Oh yes. Oh, like Bible games and what was the Noah's Ark one?
Super 3D Noah's Ark.
Yes.
However, Exodus, which was on the Genesis and the Nintendo, is a good puzzle game.
Okay.
And really entertaining.
I'll check it out. Well, the actual reason wasn't that.
Except that on level 16, one of the Bible questions is wrong.
That's funny.
And that bugs the crap out of me.
Do you remember the question or not?
No. I just remember like the level, and I was like, no, I know this one.
So, little history time before we get back to the news, real quick. So it was 89, I believe, or 88.
Okay.
When basically the Chinese government was like, okay, we need to stop this ridiculous video game market. The market that they were concerned about was the fake NES systems. Mm-hmm. That were coming out.
Yeah,
it was knockoff NES systems that were just everywhere, and it was that was the biggest reason that they were like, you know what, no, you guys are it's draining the economy, all these other things, bullshit. But also because of the basically the black market was bigger than NES. Mm-hmm. They were selling so much of that, which, well, let's be honest, it didn't stop it. It still exists, but I was watching an interview with the guys who did Fuse. They did an interview with, was it GameSpot or whoever on YouTube, and they were saying that mobile gaming is huge there because the laws didn't stop the mobile gaming,
right?
But they stopped the console gaming. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about things like, if you talk to someone in China who's not really, really, really tapped into everything internationally, and you mention like Crash Bandicoot, they're like, you mention Uncharted, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. You talk about video games and they think, what I play on my phone. They don't understand proper console gaming or PC gaming.
It'll be interesting because because Nintendo with the mobile bit will be able to kind of move into that, and they will have a bit of a head start.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the Fuse thing is going to be. I remember at one point Xbox was going to launch there.
They were.
And that just never materialized.
Legal problems, so, and they were asking Fuse, they're like, okay, so now that the laws are more lax, how are you going to compete with Xbox and PS4? And their answer, it reminded me of a Reggie answer, but it was legit. They were saying, we're not trying to compete, we're trying to open up this market.
Yeah.
And we're just going to be there. We're helping open up the market with everybody else.
Yeah.
And it was a very honest. It wasn't a bullshit answer that Reggie would give. It was a legitimate, like, we know we're the underdogs, but everyone's an underdog right now.
Yeah.
So they're basically just saying pile in, get this huge market. There's was it 1.5 billion people in China?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. So as we talked about Warcraft, China saved Warcraft from box office failure, and the Philippines and some other places did too. So.
And so it's now the most successful video game of all time,
beating out. Do you know the second?
Prince of Persia.
That's right.
Which I like.
I liked that game. I really liked that game. But prediction: Assassin's Creed will just smash this. It's just going to smash it repeatedly.
In the U.S., unquestionably. But can it make 340 whatever plus?
I hope.
I mean, because the bar is way up.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But so there's some news for you. Also in the news, we talked about this before. We were talking about E3 and everything. But Fable Fortune. So Fable Fortune is moving over to Steam Early Access, right after the poor Kickstarter that happened. Now the biggest problem with this isn't the game. I think the game looks really cool. As we're kind of watching the trailer that they put up, I think the game looks really cool, and I like the anthropomorphizing of the cards that you're playing, so you get to see the monsters. I think the biggest problem is they're competing with Hearthstone.
No, the biggest problem is there's no ethical choices to make, and if there's no ethical choices to make, it's not Fable. That's what I want in Fable game. That and just like the weird characters and everything, because Hearthstone is built on the Warcraft world and the lore and everything, but like in Fable, at least for me, this is very much a thing that they're putting forward that misses the point of the series.
The point of you starting your own story, creating your
character and making the decisions as that character, moving that kind of thing forward. And especially when Fable started, that was something that wasn't nearly as common as it is now. It's not in every game, but it's a common thing that Fable helped move forward, and that's what was special about that series.
Fable was supposed to be creating your own world, or interacting with this world, and what you do actually matters. And as I've said multiple times on the show, every version of Fable that comes out was what the previous version was supposed to be, what we were promised with it. That's
how Molyneux works.
It's how Molyneux works. They're still good games. I'd say Fable 2 is still my favorite.
Fable 2 is excellent.
But
I also like how and I think this was in Fable 2. I really like how your character like physically changes based on the decisions you make, and how you grow horns and stuff. And it's like, that's a bad guy. That's
bad. You know what else is bad? I say Mighty Number 9 is bad. As long as
you and everybody else.
Everybody else. So what really disappoints me with this, not only the difference in what the previous graphics, when you kickstarted this game, didn't you?
Yeah.
You were on Kickstarter.
I have it on my console right now because I gave them money several years ago.
I want to play this because I'll admit I haven't played it yet. I want to play it because everyone is saying it's so bad, and I want to see how far they fell. How bad did this really drop?
Well, what it really reminds me of is I really like Mega Man X. I love Mega Man. Mega Man X is the one that I'll go back and beat repeatedly though. And this it looks a lot like Mega Man X stays good up until 4. After that, it's just it's the soul of it is not there. And so I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna beat it, and I'll go from there. But
let us know, and obviously we'll let me know, and then we'll let you know how the game is. So speaking of Kickstarter, though, the credits on this game just went on and on and on.
Yes,
for 4 hours.
4 hours.
And the worst part,
I'm in there somewhere.
You are. Do you remember your backer number?
No, I think I can find that. I think I'm like, I want to say like 9800s, somewhere in there.
Yeah. So that's the biggest problem that people were complaining about, and the guys at IGN, Brian Altano, and them were talking about it too as well. They were like, I think Brian backed it, and he doesn't know his, or a couple of people there backed it, and they don't remember their number. You remember your number, so maybe you'll be able to fill it out. I'm not going to keep playing that because it's a 4 hours of credits.
You know what would be like one of the biggest moves that they could pull off as just you really is if they put a trophy for watching the ending.
And the only way you could platinum it,
is
you watched it,
is to just
leave
people
that
would just
playing.
leave it
playing.
Yeah.
But
still, it's
flute.
Yes, it's still.
It's horrible.
But anyway, my favorite thing is there have been people who have kind of gone through and made notes. One of the backers, so somebody paid to put this message into the game, is Kamiya was right. Do you know what that reference is?
He was the original creator, right? Or
No.
I don't know.
Inafune is the creator.
Oh, okay.
But Kamiya said that Keiji Inafune is not a game creator; he is a businessman.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so somebody took the time to put that into. Yep.
And
that's in the game.
Yeah. Which there's a lot of people that you can say that about. That that are still prominent figures. What's his name from Atari? I'm kicking myself. I don't remember the guy's name.
Okay.
He actually follows us on
Twitter. He's
Twitter.
all violent today. Like first he was gonna punch me, now he's kicking himself. Like.
Yeah, I know. It's just been hard. Nolan Bushnell, who actually follows us on Twitter. I don't know why.
Yeah,
but
because we're cool.
I'm glad that he does. He's a great example of that as well. He's not a video game creator, but he's a businessman. The guy started Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes, but he doesn't put himself forward as a game maker. He's important for other reasons.
Yeah,
and so
that's true. That's
kind of
the
biggest difference there.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to watch 4 hours of ending.
I'm not either. We also another interesting bit in news, and hashtag Patrick is right on this again. So the Quake team decided to create a new episode.
Yes.
And they tweeted this out saying Happy 20th to Quake, and here, download this RAR file. So what I did was I downloaded it, and unfortunately you have to. It's a bin file that you then have to put into your Quake folder.
Okay.
To let it run.
All right.
I did not have Quake installed in time to play it before this because I didn't have it on my computer. I thought they were just unpacking a standalone episode, but it was not. Okay. It's really cool though. I've seen some video of it, and it is Quake. It's a new episode of Quake. Yeah. It's a new level of Quake, so that was really cool. But unfortunately, I couldn't report it as well as I'd like to.
Yeah.
One thing that I can report to everybody though is that Shovel Knight's awesome, and the more Shovel Knight that we get, the better.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a new campaign. I haven't gotten a shot at this yet, but this is the Spectre Knight campaign, and
I couldn't find a trailer of this, so you're watching the previous one.
Yeah, this is the Plague Knight DLC, which I didn't finish this one. I started it, and there is some interesting things going on, but like the way that he moves was kind of frustrating, and I just wasn't able to get this going. But the way that Spectre Knight moves looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. And also right now they have a questionnaire which I put up on Twitter. I'll try to throw it out again after this episode. But they had a questionnaire that says, what do you want us to do next? And they have this, on a scale of 1 to 5, how much do you want us to make Shovel Knight 2? How much do you want us to make a Mega Man type game, a Zelda type game, and like all these different games?
I vote Zelda. I vote Zelda a lot though, but go ahead, what were you?
But like this, they deliberately and I can't remember where I read this, but when they were making Shovel Knight, they actually deliberately limited themselves in what they allowed themselves to do. Like as far as color palette and as far as sound. The one place that they allowed themselves to cheat was the sound. But
actually trying to make a retro game now.
Right.
Yeah.
And
with the limitations
restricting because some of the brilliant moments in classic games is because of the restrictions. Like my favorite is the fact that all of the dungeons in the original Legend of Zelda, like you put them all together and it's like a puzzle that makes this complete square so that all of the dungeons can fit on one block of memory. Yeah. And it's wonderfart.
What was the is it Ocarina of Time? Isn't Ocarina of Time takes up the audio takes up considerable amount of the cart? I know the Sega. You know about the famous Sega opening.
Yes.
That takes up, I think it was 30% of your memory.
Yep.
So every single game was limited in the amount of memory because they wanted voices there. Yeah. And you know what? It still sticks with me. I still love Sega.
Yep.
So, let's see, what else do we have in the news?
Actually, something that came just last night, and I have gotten a chance to check it out.
Okay.
Smooth McGroove
Yep.
puts
Fantastic.
out his stuff on Spotify, and so he has a new album there, and it includes the Metal Man from Mega Man 2, and that made me happy because like that is one of my favorite albums that exist.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Metal Man is phenomenal.
That's great.
And he's got like 3 different versions of Objection, which is fun because that theme's changed substantially enough that that does make a difference.
That's fantastic.
And yeah, so Smooth McGroove,
Smooth
available
McGrooves.
for your listening pleasure.
Fantastic. Go to YouTube and Spotify and all those kind of places, and sub to us as well because why not?
Yeah. So Devil's Third is a Nintendo game that came out 2 months before we started this show.
Yes.
And in December,
And it does not look like a Nintendo game. You're watching it right now.
No.
This does not look like a Nintendo game.
yeah, but it's on the Wii U and only on the Wii U. But yeah, so this game that you're watching right now has multiplayer, and they have already announced that it's going to be abandoned because yeah. So the multiplayer component is going to shut down in December. Which it's just weird. A lot of the decisions that they make are mysterious to me, and but I think that it's possible because the Wii U was abandoned and has been abandoned for so long, and they've been so quiet. I think that it is possible, and part of this I realize is wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But I believe that it's possible that their first party lineup on the launch of the NX is going to be substantial and something that we get excited about.
That's the plan, and from everything that they've been saying and all the rumors is saying that's the reason they delayed, because it was supposed to come out like the rumor was it was supposed to actually come out like in October or November, and that they bumped the NX until March to have enough games.
Okay.
And that's the biggest reason. One of the bigger problems with the Wii U was that when it launched, it didn't have that good of a launch titles. I think that had 10 or something like that. The PlayStation VR is going to have 40, I think, when it launches.
Yeah.
Which I can't wait. And since the NX isn't coming out until next year, I can justify that as an early Christmas present to myself and play some VR.
Yeah.
When is Star Trek coming out? Do you remember? Do you know?
Star Trek is a project that is coming out.
I want it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully they update the graphics on that, because it could be really good. Yeah.
All right. Stanley Parable.
Yes.
That studio has been making several like mini projects that they work on, and the latest one is the Temple of No.
Yes.
And it's a browser thing that you go and play.
Yep.
From the crows.
Yeah. So I got to watch some gameplay of this. I didn't get to play it before being here, but the gameplay looked really cool. But this is just my complaint because of what we do. There was no trailer for this game. I can't find a trailer anywhere.
Okay, if you can play it,
I want to find the trailer.
I get that, but if you can play it, you don't need a trailer because
I
you
know.
just go play it.
It's because of what we do here. I don't grab anyone's gameplay and without their permission. I don't want to grab their gameplay and use their gameplay without their permission. So I couldn't do that. I could have captured some gameplay and then put it on here. That would have taken a lot of the time. This show does take quite a bit of time to prepare for you guys. So didn't get a chance to do that because I'm busy doing some other things. But it looks really cool, and I just love the creativity by that team. Mm-hmm. It's really great.
All right. Overwatch had a feature that was it was avoid this player, and the original idea, what they said they were trying to do with it was they wanted to do it where, if somebody's being a douche, then people don't have to play with them. But what people were actually doing, obviously, was, I don't want to fight that one. They're really good. I don't want to fight.
They were also looking up, like, on the leaderboards. They were looking at people on the leaderboards and they're like, oh, here are the top players, or people that they knew were because of Twitch streaming or whatever.
Yeah.
They would find these people and go, okay, I'm not going to play against them. So they would have these really long lists. It wasn't just people who were like stomping them in multiplayer. It was preemptive. It was preemptive to say, okay, I'm not playing with these 50 people.
Yeah.
Which screws up their matchmaking.
Yeah. So that has been removed because one of the top Overwatch players reached out to them and said, "Hey, I'm sitting for about a minute and a half in the lobby.
Yeah.
And matchmaking should go faster than this." And they also found themselves playing with like kind of the dregs almost. I mean, just people that are not particularly good.
Yeah.
And that was the only games that were available to them.
Yeah.
And that's not satisfying.
No, it's not.
And so that feature has been removed, which is really good because they're starting their competitive thing.
I need to play Overwatch. I'll be honest, I haven't played it yet. I've heard great things about it. I've been playing Dark Souls and a bunch of other games, so I haven't been able to get to it yet. But I like the Tracer cosplays.
Yes, the Tracer cosplays are awesome. I also like that Gorilla Grodd is a playable character.
Pretty much. Without the name, it's still him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we also got some really cool news for PlayStation Vue. If you guys haven't seen PlayStation Vue, it's Sony's version. And if you haven't, I'm surprised. It's Sony's version of cable. So you can stream all your favorite shows on your PS4, and it's very convenient. I actually cut the cord and use that service. It gets me everything that I want to watch except for BBC and HBO and maybe a couple other things.
Yeah.
Everything else is on there. Recently got ABC, all the Disney properties. They got their contract with that. So really, it's a brand new world for them. So the story in this, though, is it's going to be available on Roku and Android.
And Android, yeah.
Which is great because
Android is mine.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
You have. I didn't see the caveat that you had to own a PlayStation or anything like that. It was just you just can have it.
Yeah.
Which is great.
When they launched, you could do it on PlayStation. You could connect to their servers on a PC, or you could do it on Bravia TVs.
Yes.
So
they're a Sony product,
right? And so they're marching that out and continuing to expand it, and I've appreciated that as they moved forward on this project, they've done it in a way that they've only done what they could handle, and
yep, lame.
It's unfortunate, but I would rather that than have them release it to all the cities and it's broken in half of them.
That's true.
So,
and we were lucky enough to be one of the first 3 cities.
We're pretty up. Yeah,
we were
we weren't.
First
we were in the second wave.
Second wave? Okay, that was the first wave.
No, the first wave was. I'm not comfortable enough to say these were the first ones. I know it was. I know it was
early.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And
Chicago?
New York City, Chicago, and Miami.
Okay.
I think there was one more, and then Dallas-Fort Worth was part of the second wave.
Very cool. Which is where we are.
Yes.
So there's another bit of interesting news, which I'm okay with. I don't know how your feelings are about this, but Criterion has basically canceled their next driving game. Canceled work on it. I don't know if they've canceled the entire game, but they're moving on to do Star Wars.
Well, the last thing that we got out of that team was Burnout Paradise.
Yeah. And
Burnout Paradise doesn't. It's not what I want out of my. Out of Burnout. Well, no, not out of racing games. It's a good enough racing game.
Yeah.
But it's not really Burnout.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean. And Three Fields is giving me my Burnout game someday.
Exactly.
And I've already partially funded that because I bought Dangerous Golf, which is wonderful, and the girls and I love it, and they tell me, oh, shoot the hamburger first. And it's a lot of fun.
That's fantastic.
And I beat Three Fields on another hole.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So yeah. I'm excited about that.
You're winning.
I'm winning.
I'll be winning, hopefully, when I play some Halo. I decided to vote with my wallet, and I did not buy Halo 5. It did not have split screen couch co-op, so I didn't buy it. Now, some people didn't care about that. I do. I play a lot of couch co-op games with the wife, or if people come over. It may be because of my generation. I grew up playing I grew up playing Genesis and stuff, and N64, playing with people. So Halo 5 is going to be free from the 29th to the 5th.
Right. So for 1 week, starting on the 29th. Yep. And you and Whitney had gone through like the entire series up to this point with split screen, right?
Yes, we've played every single one, including ODST is the only one we didn't finish. Okay. ODST we got about halfway through. Yeah. All the other ones we've completely finished. Yeah. Same with Gears of War. All of them but Judgment, we've completely beaten together. I beat Judgment by myself.
Gears 4 looks so good.
Yes, it does.
Well, I won't play it.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that one. So this will give me a chance to be able to play it and experience it, and not feel like I'm giving money to something I don't really want.
Yep.
Yeah. It's irritating. Vote with your wallets, guys. Vote with your wallets. This is what happens. And when you do vote with your wallets, this is what happens. Mm-hmm. Then they realize that and go, okay, we need to find some other way to get people to play this. Yeah. So I'll just play it when it's free.
So speaking of giving money to things that you really love and new ways to play things, I don't know. It's okay.
I'm not giving money to this.
Yeah. So the Hunger Games version of Minecraft is starting up, and the season pass for this costs half as much as the original game itself. Yep. I don't have they haven't released the numbers, the prices for America, so we only have the British announcement. Yep. That was all I was able to find. Which
probably will be comparable.
Yeah, but it was like $7.99 and the game is £15.
Yeah.
So.
And. Yep. I played Minecraft. I was actually one of the people who I purchased it for $5 when it was in beta. Mm-hmm. It was so I have the
bloody
account.
Hipster.
Yeah, I know. I've been doing it since before it was a cool thing.
It's still not cool.
I played Minecraft in my parents' house before I was married.
Jeez.
So I've been playing Minecraft for a long time, and there's no reason for this battle thing. They've updated the battle system earlier this year, which I think I told you about. Which I did like that they did that, because previously you could run around with a sword and just and every hit counted for the exact same amount of damage.
Yeah.
Even though you're going, that doesn't make any sense. It would make sense for you to go here,
swords work.
Then here, and that's how it should be. If you're gonna hammer that quick with a sword or whatever, then
everybody has bionic arms. I explained this to you.
In the Minecraft universe.
Yes, in the Minecraft universe.
Well, it makes sense.
All arms are bionic.
It makes sense because you can beat up a tree.
There's no fatigue, no stamina. You don't have to deal with that because they are all bionic.
You don't bloody up your knuckles from hitting a tree.
Exactly.
Yeah. I had to show.
That's.
I was with my nephew at a park, and he was like, "Look, it's like Minecraft." Ow!
Not like Minecraft.
Not quite.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Oh, let's do Minecraft in real life." I'm like, "No, don't do it. Don't do it."
There's a lot of things in Minecraft you should not do in real life.
Yeah, and that's one of them.
Yes.
Another thing you should not do is buy the Steam certificate. Do we?
No. Okay.
Did I skip something? No, I didn't.
No, you.
Oh, I skipped. Oh, you have a topic.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that probably after.
Oh, I missed it.
Okay, this is actually really cool. I like this.
You like this?
I like this because there's a $35 DLC for a puzzle game that the developer pushed out. Mm-hmm. Doesn't add anything to the game. It just gives you a PDF that you can print out and say, "I'm not going to look up puzzles." I will complete this game through my own skill, through my own wit, and I will finish it.
Yes.
And what he said is, this is like there are people who will play the game. Mm-hmm. It's a not terribly expensive game, but he says that people who want to commit, people who are like, you know what, this is a quality game, and I want to invest myself in it. Mm-hmm. He said that they can do this, and they can be like, you know what. Yeah, this is how I want to play this game. Yeah. And once you've put the money down and once you've invested in it, you're like, well, now I have to.
But it's $35.
Yeah, and so it's a commitment to yourself, and it doesn't add anything to the game. But if people want to experience this game in this particular way, become invested in it, and give back to a developer who made a quality puzzle game.
Yeah.
So. there's nothing behind a paywall. This is only for a select group of people, and it doesn't cut anybody out.
It doesn't give you any trophy or anything.
Right. It's just a thing that if you like my game and you want to commit on this level.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
And
I'm not going to do it, but
No. But it's a puzzle game. I'm not even playing it.
Yeah. Owen's asking what the money goes towards. I guess the developer.
The developer? Yeah, it's a one guy project. And yeah. So theoretically their next thing.
Yeah.
And I mean we showed the certificate. You can screen cap that and print it out yourself.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple.
But are you going to do it?
No.
Well then, what's the point?
It's a great marketing campaign though, because now we're talking about this.
Yeah.
So.
And there's an element, and that's the main thing, is it's interesting, it's clever, and it doesn't lock people unnecessarily out of anything.
Which is good.
So I appreciate it.
I get it. I mean,
it's kind of the same reason. Okay, I've bought the DLC for Dark Souls 2, and then I bought Scholar of the First Sin, which includes the DLC. I bought the Old Hunters DLC.
Yep.
When they release DLC for Dark Souls 3, I'm going to buy that.
Yeah.
Because I want to give them money. I haven't played any of the DLC.
Yeah.
I don't know if I will.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I probably will now that they're not making Dark Souls games. I'll go back and do all that.
I'm going to go back and play Scholar of the First Sins for that reason, because this is it.
Yeah.
This is the last Dark Souls game, so, allegedly.
Yeah. And so yeah, I appreciate that, and I want to give them more money, but I'm not willing to, like, buy the game on Steam or anything, because I'm never going to play it there. But you have offered me a thing, more of a thing that I love. Yes, thank you. And I know that there's more lore in there. And so when they put more lore into it, I find out about that. I may not play the DLC, but I appreciate that they're giving me more lore.
Yeah. Well, you had a special topic. One thing I wanted to talk about before we did that, though, was I keep seeing, and I keep wanting to talk about it, people keep saying console gaming is dying because PC gaming is outselling console gaming. Have you seen these news articles?
Yeah.
Now, if you look into it, what they're saying is, look, more people are spending money on PC games than on console games.
Okay.
So, and this is the first, last year was the first time that's happened, like in forever.
Yeah.
And then this year, it looks like it's going to overtake it again.
Okay.
But if you look at the AAA games and see who all is buying these games, like The Witcher 3. Witcher 3 had a 30% share on PC.
Yeah.
The rest was on console. So people saying, oh, well, PC's going to overtake it. It's not going to overtake it. These things are going to coexist. These naysayers have been saying, like, one of them was saying, Microsoft, the reason they're doing the Xbox Play Anywhere is because they think that that's going to happen, and they're just going to phase out the Xbox, which doesn't make sense with Scorpio coming out. So,
yeah. Well, the other thing that, yes, there just if you're comparing the two, okay. But the other thing is gaming, in the money being put into gaming in general continues to rise.
It does.
And so the money that's being spent on console gaming is still ramping up. And it's like people, there are people who are like, well, Xbox One isn't beating PS4, it's a failure. No, it's selling faster than the PS3 or the Xbox, the previous generation.
It has.
And
it's
the
just
only
not selling
reason,
as well as the PS4.
right, the only reason that it seems to be failing is because you're comparing it to something that is just absolutely killing it in a way that no other system has. And so it's, if you drill down far enough, you can find statistics that will say literally anything you want. The tobacco industry has been doing that for decades. Like, you can, if you're not worrying about the big picture, you can make data say whatever you want.
Yep.
That's what I feel is happening here.
Yeah, well, they also are the thing that when I looked further into it, every article that I found, what they were citing was not only Steam sales and all of that, because we all know Steam will bleed your wallet and you won't play the games.
Yeah.
Because that's what, I've got like 180 some games on Steam, and I think I've played 3 or 4. But I bought them all for
I have 2. I've played none.
So they're accounting for that, but they also, if I dug further in, it accounted for any monthly charges for games.
Mm-hmm.
World of Warcraft.
Yep.
So they're counting people who are paying that monthly. They're counting that because it's not a sale, but they're counting it as revenue.
Right. It's
which that's deceiving. That's revenue. That's not a sale. You already owned the game. You're paying for the usage. So.
Yeah. But at the same time, it kind of goes back to the certificate thing. If people are investing money in it, that means that it's important to them. They have decided that I'm not going to cancel it yet.
Yeah.
That is still money that's going there that might go to console gaming otherwise. But the big picture, because like everybody was saying that mobile gaming is going to take over everything, and the biggest thing that it's hit is the handheld market.
Yeah.
Because obviously.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't touch the console, the proper console.
Yeah, not really. And like I did give it another try, and we did the stream and everything, and I did try it again, and I gave it an honest to God attempt.
For what?
Hearthstone is not for me, because if I have time to sit and focus on a thing, I'm gonna pull out my Vita. I'm gonna play my Vita.
But you can play it. I mean, it's a really short matches, and you still will go to Vita
every time. Because
Hearthstone, Blizzard, make Hearthstone on Vita.
Well, I mean, Plants vs. Zombies is on Vita, but that doesn't mean I'm going to play it.
Yeah, but Hearthstone's really good.
Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't like it.
I like it, but when it every time that I have an opportunity to play it, it's Hearthstone or these other things, and it's kind of like with NBA 2K16. There's a quality game in there, but in order for me to get to that, I have to invest time. Like the kind of funny guys, they're like, you know what, Dark Souls is those are some good games, and I appreciate that. I'm not willing to invest the time that it takes to get good at it. But because we've been playing Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne's for long enough that when we step into Dark Souls 3, we already have a lot of the skills that we need to do well at those games.
But you've played Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
It's the same.
But the way that I want to play Magic the Gathering is with a big pile of cards and a bunch of people. Like that's
you like the cube draft.
I like the cube draft. Yeah. The cube draft and the social aspect of it. Like, because all I can, well played.
Yep.
That's interaction.
Yeah.
But I don't get to watch my opponents, like their face and their physical reaction to, you brought out and like get to watch them. The social side of card games is the appealing part for me.
Sure.
And I don't get that, and so Hearthstone is not for me.
Yeah, we need to do another cube draft.
I do enjoy like watching / listening to it. Jake, one of the guys that came up to us, the security guard. Yeah. I actually watched a couple of his games while playing Binding of Isaac. So I had that going, but I was listening to him on my headphones and everything, and just kind of following the match as he slowly got drunker and drunker, because Fireball is just a really, really wonderful, terrible thing. Yeah. But yeah, like I enjoy it on that level, but not for me.
Yeah. Well, I think it's awesome. And I'm thinking about, we did the Hearthstone for Beginners thing. I'm possibly going to do a weekly show, and let me know if you guys want me to start doing this. A weekly show where I'm playing a different class and a different style of deck.
Okay.
On Twitch for like an hour or so, where I'm going through like how the deck works, ups and downs, and different kind of matchups and stuff like that. Let me know in the comments if you think that'd be cool, because I play it a lot, and there's a lot of different styles and different varieties. And I also want to branch out into ones that I have like 3 classes that I'm really, really, really good at, and then other ones that I'm okay, but I'm
branching out and understanding the game is...
It'll help me understand it, and it'll help you guys understand it. So, you had a special topic for the...
Yeah, this was actually something that the Comedy Button is one of the podcasts that I listen to on a pretty regular basis, and Jared Petty, he may be the nicest person in the world, but he was talking about his beliefs and the way that he approaches theology and religion and all of that. Mm-hmm. And he brought up a really interesting comparison that I kind of wanted to talk about. He said that I define myself, and this is very similar because I define myself as Christian. Okay. But Christian is this big overarching thing. Mm-hmm. And okay, if you believe that the entire Old Testament is just a collection of fables that never really happened, okay, we are still Christians
because you still believe in Christ.
Right. There's some basic
not to
tenets.
get too religious here.
Right,
I'll be the neutral one.
And that's why I put this at the end so that you can feel free to turn it off if you're not interested. And I'll go ahead and bring in the comparison. Okay. He said that it's kind of the same way with gaming. Mm-hmm. If you are a gamer, you kind of define that for yourself. Mm-hmm. And so it's not for me to say you're a gamer, but you don't play strategy games. You're not a gamer. And it was just a really interesting comparison that I've never really thought of. But there are some core tenets that kind of bring it together. The main one being, do you play games? And
if you do, then
right,
you're
then you can define that for yourself.
I would agree because it's one thing that I'm guilty of this when it comes to mobile games. When people say I'm a gamer and what do you play? And they're like Candy Crush, Puzzle Quest, Temple Run, and I'm like. Yeah.
Okay.
But Courtney plays Temple Run like crazy, right?
Courtney was really, really disappointed like a week or so ago because she had a 6-month streak of hitting the daily goals every day. And she broke it by one day. But I mean, like that's something that she does.
Do your challenges stack? Like, do you get them, or are they gone that day?
There's like a daily and a weekly set of achievements.
But
basically.
if you miss one day, you lost that day, right?
Right, okay. But like she's reached a point where she has like you're collecting like gems and coins and stuff, and she has like 60 billion gems or something, and so she could use that to play indefinitely. Yeah, because you can resurrect yourself or whatever.
Gotcha.
And so that her games, she could probably play for 24 hours on a single game at this point
because of the gems. Yeah,
right. But she's reached a point where she's like, this is what I get out of it, and it's relaxing to me, and I can kind of just kind of meld into that. But yeah, it was a really interesting thing that I've never thought of because like it's mobile's that other category, and it's and like
I'm
for
guilty
me,
of it on Zelda too.
If you don't like
handheld Zelda.
Link's Awakening is really good.
Link's Awakening is good, and Link Between Worlds is what really opened me up on that because it got such great reviews, and people were saying, "Oh, this is so much like Link to the Past." I'm like, "Okay, I will play it," and it's worth it. It was worth it.
My favorite part of that, and it's something that they couldn't have done in a console one yet, is the 3D when you're dropping down to platforms. Is so wonderful, and I really get a kick out of that. But yeah, I just thought it was a really interesting comparison and something that because like going to Alcoholics Anonymous, the one of the tenets of Alcoholics Anonymous is we focus on attraction rather than promotion. I don't go out and tell you should be in SAA or you should be in Narcotics Anonymous or whatever. It's like if you want what we have to offer, I'm willing to talk about that with you, and
but you're not gonna preach to someone unsolicited,
right? And I'm not going to tell someone. I'm not going to. Well, obviously, I'm not going to tell Courtney this, but like I'm not going to come up on her and be like, hey, no, like, yeah, Temple Run is cool, but okay, it's not. But this is what you should be playing. Yeah. That's not for me to decide.
You didn't play Uncharted,
right? And Uncharted is another great example because.
I don't know.
Okay, why didn't you ever tell me that there's a hint system built into the game?
Because the game tells you that. The game goes hint on the bottom.
Okay, well,
and then you go, oh, and then it shows you.
Okay, well, apparently I've gotten frustrated and left before that ever happened.
It does
because
a couple minutes, if you're like walking around for 3-4 minutes or something. Then it'll go hint, and you hit, I think it's L3, and then it'll zoom into the area.
Okay, see, Chris told me about that last night, and I was like, I might have been able to beat the Uncharted games when I got into a room and went,
yeah, you have to.
I don't want to.
You have to the game gives you enough time to try it out for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to.
And yeah,
I want to get to my homicidal maniac shooting spree.
Yeah, that game
He's killed so many people.
He has killed so many people, which is I was talking to Braden about that, my nephew, because he wants to play Uncharted because I let him play on my PS Vita once, or the first time,
Golden Abyss?
I had Golden Abyss on there,
Yeah.
and he was like, "This game is so fun," and I didn't realize what he was playing. And my sister's, his mom was, freaking out a little bit. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to use this time to contextualize it, right? So, well, these are bad guys that are trying to kill you, and you're just trying to get out of there. And they see how they shot at you once they saw you. See, so I was trying to contextualize it for him, which is still hard to do for an 8-year-old. Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I'd say I agree. Because I'm a gamer, and so if Courtney would consider herself one, I can't really say that she's not because she plays Temple Run. She played Temple Run for 6 months straight.
Yeah,
there are days where I don't get to play games.
Yeah,
so
and that was kind of the thing, and a lot of the internet in general can be really vitriolic, and just spew all this hate about you're not in my camp, therefore you're not whatever, and the people this group is superior, and Xbox for lifers, and all these people. But so this topic kind of refreshed in my mind. Let people do what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And I think that's a healthy approach to take towards most things.
I'd agree.
But because of the anger and emotions that get built up with religion historically, and that does to some extent occur in gaming, and so I thought it was a really good way to put it, because there are so many denominations that fall under the blanket category of Christian, and I realized that, and it was a really good way to contextualize the way that we can look at gaming and gamers.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And I really liked that.
I'd agree.
So
let us know in the comments what you think about it. Obviously, if you're watching this, you consider yourself a gamer. Are you guilty as I am of saying, no, you're not a gamer because you play mobile or because of whatever?
Yeah.
Or I think PCs, to an extent, they do this a little bit. The PC master race guys, like, oh, console gaming, that's not gaming. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I don't think they say it's not gaming. They just kind of pity us.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I have both. So, but console's still easier. It's more accessible.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll see you guys later.
Wait.
What?
Thanks for all the fish.
This week in our collective heads, wanna put an old rumor to bed. Stereotype that you've all heard, how we're all just angry video game nerds. Most of us have actual jobs, kids and families and cats and dogs, yeah. This week in our collective heads, this week in our collective heads.